So you're playing Phasmophobia, and you cannot figure out for the life of you where the ghost is, and you know that there's a ghost somewhere in the house, so what are you to do? Well, have no fear, because I'm going to teach you 5 tricks on finding where the ghost room is. So even if you are having a hard time finding it, the ghost will always have a favorite room that you will find it in first. Now, it is possible for the ghost to change rooms, but you can redo some of these tips and tricks to figure out if that does happen. Let's get started with the first tip. The first tip is going to be what's probably the most important and one that we have discussed in other videos, and that is to listen. Listening for interactions such as a door touch, window tap, light switch, throwing an object. That will give you a general vicinity of where the ghost is. And just to show how important this is, here are various different clips of me entering the house and then immediately hearing an interaction. Some of those may have been hard to hear at first, but the more you play the game, the more you will get better used to listening for things happening in the background. Another thing you can do if you are having trouble is just to stand somewhere and listen so you can better hear if the ghost interacts with something, such like this. This is also why I find it handy to carry an EMF reader, so that way you can verify whatever it is that you hear. The next tip to go along with door touches is to make sure that all doors are closed. This is going to be much easier for you to know when a ghost interacts with a door if they are all closed. If you are playing on amateur, then all the doors will be closed anyways at the start. If you are playing other difficulties, I still find it useful to close the doors as you are walking around. Then when you hear a door touch, you will know that the ghost will be in that general vicinity of the door. And it makes it that much easier to determine which door was touched, even if you don't have an EMF reader. It is obviously a lot easier to control the doors being closed when you are playing alone. But if you are playing with other people, you can just let them know to close the door after they search a room, so that way if the ghost does interact with the door, you will know which one was touched. Just like in the clip that we looked at earlier where we heard the door touch in Willow Street, we saw that the doors around us were closed, and we knew that the garage door had been closed earlier, so therefore since it was open, we could verify that that was the door that was touched, and then the EMF reader did verify that. The third tip is going to be to look for disturbed items. So maybe you heard the ghost interact with something and you're not really sure where it happened at or what happened. So then you search around and then you happen to find a room where items are disturbed. Take for instance this clip here in Grafton where we could tell that there was a glass as well as a beer bottle on the floor. That likely tells you that that is where the ghost room is. So now that we've seen disturbed items in the room, how are we going to exactly know or make sure that this is going to be the ghost room? Tip number 4 is basically what you do in any investigation, and that's going to be you can now use your other pieces of evidence to verify where the ghost is. So you'd want to use Spirit Box, see if you get a response. Use your camera to look for ghost orbs. Put the writing book down, put the dots projector down, see if the ghost interacts with any of those. See if you can see your breath for freezing temperatures. Seeing where ghost orbs are and seeing freezing temps are signs that show where the ghost is. Getting a Spirit Box response will also tell you that that is where the ghost is. Now we're going to go back to that first tip of listening, and let's see how we wait and listen to hear an interaction and how we use the other evidence to figure out the ghost room. Alright, so you just heard that. That was the sound of the locker, so chances are that it's going to be in the garage. So now all we got to do is come over here and verify. We do see the locker door is ajar, so chances are high that this is going to be in the garage, but ghosts can reach through walls and adjacent rooms. So now is our chance to verify. So let's look and see maybe if we missed anything. Is anything else thrown about here in this room? No, so far. We just heard a door touch. Door touch is going to be here. So now it's kind of giving you 2 different signs, which is good. It's doing a lot of door touches now. So it's going to be this one It's either going to be like in this room or the garage, it seems like. So let's use now our evidence to verify. First off, we have a camera here, but let's see if we get fingerprints. No fingerprints there. No fingerprints on the locker. Okay. Fingerprints aren't really super helpful for telling you necessarily where the ghost is, but it's at least, you know, a piece of evidence. Do we have any dots anywhere? Or excuse me, orbs, not dots. Don't see any orbs there. Orbs in here? Alright, no orbs in here, it looks like. And again, what we're doing here is just rolling through our pieces of evidence. Alright, now it could be here in the kitchen. Do we see dots, or well, I don't know why I keep calling it dots. Do we see orbs in the kitchen? No, so chances are we probably do not have ghost orbs. So let's use a spirit box now. Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? Alright, we just heard like what sounded like a tool. I thought it was a tool. Are you over here? Are you here? Are you friendly? Okay. So now we know that the ghost is actually in the in the kitchen. It's behind us. We got you. So now we would then set up the rest of our evidences again. So that was all of the base items that you use to find the ghost. Now we'll go into the last tip, and that is going to be to use other items to find the ghost. These other items are going to be a little bit more expensive, or you're going to have to pay for them either way, and they're going to be things like motion sensor, salt, paramic, and my number one favorite thing to use to find the ghost, which is the thermometer. So obviously for salt, you just want to lay some salt down in the room to get the ghost to walk through it. Motion sensor, you place it on a wall and the ghost will walk through it, and you will see it light up or hear the sound that it went through it. For the thermometer, you essentially want to walk around the house with the breaker on, because if the breaker is off, temperatures are going to be colder. Now with the thermometer in hand, you're going to roam around the house and you're looking for the room that will be either less than 40 degrees Fahrenheit or less than like 10 degrees Celsius. That is going to point to where the ghost room is. Now the parabolic mic can be a little bit tricky, especially if you're playing with numerous other people on a team. If you're playing solo, it's easier to control, but you're essentially going to listen for sounds. Now sounds that players make, like opening doors and turning on light switches, will have a reading on the parabolic mic. So what you want to make sure is that nobody else is making a sound, and you're looking for the mic to pick up a reading, and then you're going to walk towards where the microphone is picking up that sound at and see if you can narrow down what room it is. For example, in this video, we saw the reading on the parabolic mic. We were able to figure out that it was coming from upstairs. We were able to then narrow down that it was coming from the upstairs bathroom, which we could immediately verify by seeing items on the ground. If you got this far, thank you so much. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you found this information useful, and also let me know if there's anything I left out and maybe some tips that you found that makes finding the ghost a little bit easier. And if you did watch this far, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, these are great tips, all well and good, but you're expecting me to stand in the middle of a haunted house waiting, listening for that ghost to just attack me, so I'm like essentially ghost bait? Don't fear, I got you. Here is an extra bonus tip for everybody out there that you may not know, and that is that holding a lit candle in your hand will prevent sanity drain. So if you are having trouble finding the ghost room and you do want to take the tip of listening, go ahead, take a lighter, take a candle, and you can even take an EMF reader too to verify if what you hear is actual, and you're not going to lose any sanity. So you can stand there holding the candle, looking like you're about to tell the ghost story, maybe even the own ghost story that you're the star in. Or you can wander around the house with the candle, and your sanity will not drain, and you'll be able to hopefully figure out where the ghost is from there. If the ghost does hunt you, then you know it's either a demon or a mimic mimicking a demon if your sanity is, above the 75% threshold. Which on amateur, your sanity drain is not as quick, and you also have that 5-minute grace period as well before the ghost can hunt. But if even after all this you're thinking, I still have no idea what I'm doing, well, fear not, because I have a video on what you should do on your very first investigation that will be posted right here. Feel free to give it a watch if you're still confused. And if you are still confused, please leave a question. I'll happily answer any question that you have. I also stream on Twitch, so be sure to follow me over there. Thank you all for watching. Happy hunting, and I will see you all next time.